opponent used unfair means in a tournament. Wow. So we had this post on Wildr where
Ask me anything.
Going to do
AMA.
AMA, ask me anything. So now that we have both of you here, I'm going to pick up a few questions.
Yeah.
First one is asked by Sarthak Srijan.
It's a product placement.
Has there been any moment in your chess career that you thought about quitting chess? Oh, interesting one. Let's start with Anish.
No. No. I didn't. I didn't actually. No, I didn't think about quitting chess myself. I sort of felt like I had a few moments where I thought that maybe I'm not good enough, you know. So it's not that I want to quit chess, is that like chess wants to quit me. This is what I felt sometimes. But then usually I look at Vidit's games and I realize, okay, I'm still very fine. Vidit?
Yeah. No, I think I've had this moments many times throughout my career. And
I've always been there for you, huh? I've always been there for you.
yes, I can say so. And mostly it's after a painful loss or something that goes wrong, you know, in the heat of the moment, I do feel it. I don't know if Anish has ever felt it, like after a painful loss or something, like, you know, I'm done with this. I don't know.
No, this like that. No.
No, I felt this very often actually.
Yeah, I've heard many people have this. I heard some other top players have that.
And then I get normal after some time.
No, I never have felt that.
But also for me, in general also it's clear that I'm not like going to play chess forever. So for me that's also clear. Like, I don't know about you, maybe you'll play until 60 because...
Well, I gotta keep trying.
Yeah,
no, but I am not also sure. I do think I will be in the chess for a very, very long time. Chess
sounds
and,
like two grandpas talking to each other.
Chess and social media. Chess and social media is my things. But
Like Victor Korchnoi maybe, yes?
no, but he was playing, yeah. I don't think you can play at this high level nowadays that long. But okay, I still have at least like 10 years, maybe more. So
Yeah, and I just feel also that there's so much in life. Like I would feel like I've not explored other avenues in life. So that's one thing. But after painful loss, definitely I feel like, you know, I don't want to play chess. I even say it out loud. But then I normalize after some time. Like after painful games, like Asian games, I've felt like that. That was the latest.
You know, I think this other avenues of life, exploring stuff. I think that, to be honest, okay, it sounds nice. I like to like read some books, you know, about other things that are interesting me, watch some videos nowadays as well. But I think that many people, they have this idea that, you know, okay, I'm very good at chess, sort of, because I did chess all the time. Now I will, like, for a year do something else and I'll become a genius and I'll do all that thing. I think it's just really hard because I have a feeling that nowadays to really make a difference, make an impact in any field, you need to do that from sort of pretty much start of your life, you know. If you look at people who made the impact in other fields, yeah, like their whole life was dedicated to it in some way. So I think it's too late.
No.
I think it's to an extent.
I don't think so.
No, you can do something like.
No, it's first of all, it's not only about impact. It's about your personal happiness also. Like if you think that exploring something else, you're curious and you want to do it, and you'll feel good about it. That's also success. Like not necessarily
I mean, even now, yeah, you can read books.
Or something.
Yeah, but I mean,
not
you're
just
not
read books. I mean, do actual things.
I don't think you are going to like at 40 quit chess and then become an amazing writer or something. I don't think that's
it's possible. It's possible. Why you limit yourself? I think it's possible.
I mean, but you are basically competing in a way against
no,
people.
But it's about also how you want to do it. Yeah, even if it's not a commercial success, maybe you learn something out of it. And
yeah, but you should be careful. Then you should not, because what you see now with many other people, that you shouldn't. They come with so much confidence into and they start to, you know, look at the statistics and the math, and they are not into math or statistics, for example. So and then it looks from the side.
No comments.
Yeah, well, I mean, I am all for other things in life than chess. Even during your chess, I think that's great. I'm doing that as well. But I think that to make an impact in the world, not just for yourself, but to make an impact in the world, right? To write a book that will change.
Yeah, but you can collaborate with people who have their own
Yes.
expertise,
Yes.
and you have your own expertise because you also learn a lot of things while playing chess.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is a way to.
So
that's a way
that
to do it.
collaboration can also bring fruitful
For
results.
sure, for
like
sure.
what you guys are doing with Wildr.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, exactly. For example,
actually,
you are not going to yourself now.
Yeah, I cannot
an
start
app.
there. Yeah, I
yes,
cannot.
But you can contribute
Yeah.
in a great team.
Exactly.
Okay,
That's
we
what
agree on that. We
Yeah.
agree on that. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good
Absolutely.
question. And we took a tangent, but it was
Yeah.
meaningful, I
yes,
think.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
You both arrived at a midpoint, which
Yes.
is very
Yes.
good.
We had agreed.
It was a draw.
Next question is by Riya Yadav. She says, playing chess at professional level with such busy schedule and with so much travel, how do you balance both family and chess? Because at the end, our family just needs time.
I think you can take the family, I can take the travel. I think it's just clear as that.
No, but you have a family in extent to like let's say you have your sister and
Yes.
parents, and you also have personal life. as
But
well,
I think
of course.
kids require a different kind of
it's
care.
different. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think there's never enough time, and I am constantly, I have a feeling that you never have a perfect balance in life. Like, it can look like that from the outside, but in reality, I think it can never be. And I think the best you can do is to try to balance it. But you always see that, like, I constantly think that, I should have spent more time on this, I should spend more time on that. You just don't have the time, I think. So I'm not, I'm far from, like, satisfied with how I do things, and, I wish I did more here and there, both in family and in chess and
I think
everywhere else.
In topless, you are one of the most balanced, I would say.
Yeah,
Relatively.
I think you can sort of head towards that. But as someone
say so.
who knows it better than anyone, like what it is actually, like it is.
At least from the
wish-
outside, I get that impression.
That's and that's okay. That's maybe good enough, but
Isn't
I
it
think
like
I
you're
can do
all
better.
the time putting out fires?
But I also
You could
feel
say
like
so, but the problem is it's not about the fires. Like you can put out the fires, but it's about just nurturing, the things that are there, and putting out the fires is an approach to do that. But life is not just about the emergencies, but it's about the constant, and in that is the purpose as well. So
I personally feel like also from outside and a little bit like a closer perspective is like because of Sopiko, she's so amazing that you managed to play chess so much, and you like what you're able to do because she's managing other things so well. Like I've seen it closely.
yeah, exactly. But
So-
of course, but I mean my own contribution can also be more in both.
It's a very chess player thing, always not satisfied. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's both. Like
Top
I can do
chess
more.
player thing.
I can do more in let's say my personal life with my family and children, and I can also do more and better in chess as well. I feel. But it's just very hard, I think. I haven't seen anyone. I mean, if we look at some people who are like having an amazing career, or it seems that everything is great, what they do, and it is great.
We never know
But
what's going on behind.
But I
the scenes,
guess
yeah?
that, I just can't imagine like how you can, like they must be also having this, constant thoughts that, I can do better here, I can do better there. And okay, I guess the striving for perfection is, what makes you better, but the perfection can never be achieved, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's not easy to balance. Like for example, this year I've been playing a lot, like a lot. In last 5 months, I've been home for 10 days or something like this, 4-5 months. Yeah, as far as I can recall. I mean, that's really little. One reason is I stay in Nasik, so it takes a long time to travel anywhere. And it takes a toll on you. This is not a lifestyle that I really enjoy because it's a bit extreme, the amount of travel. Probably going ahead, I would like to reduce that a bit and then see how it works. But at some point also, I would like to see how it is to just not be moving around so much, a bit more stability going ahead. But having said that, there's no complaint. Like because of that, I've got many other good things in life, which I really appreciate. So everything you do comes at price of something, and this is the price you have to be willing to play.
So
like there are no free lunches. Yeah.
So the answer is that it's not easy to balance.
Yes, it's not easy to balance, but I know going in it, like this is the cost that I have to pay for it.
Yeah, and I guess it's constantly like it gets
You
always
outweigh,
out of-
like,
out
you
of
know what, you
balance.
want something.
Like it's always then you realize, okay, I travel too much. Then you push it back. Then
Yeah,
you're
and
like,
then
oh,
you
I
feel
travel
like
too
it's
little.
too- yeah.
And you are constantly moving like, and it's never in the middle, but you are constantly.
You cannot find a drawer.
No, you never find it. But you can try to to strive for it, and I think the good thing is that you have time to you try for a while one thing, then you try another thing, and there is fortunately time, and you just it's not that you have time and you have different cycles of life in a way you could say.
For example, when you won Tata Steel this year, and then your family came, that could be a very nice balance, no? You finish family their success, or let's say when Vidit you won Grand Swiss, you came back home. Now you can spend time. That's also like.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. There are good sides to it, and that's why we are doing it. If there was no good side, we would not do it. Yeah, there's a lot of upside, but the question was like, how do you balance it? And I would say that we don't balance. Like at least I am unable to balance it, but I know that.
Yeah, good one.
Let's go to the next one. Ragini Moja says, can you share an incident where you feel your opponent used unfair means in a tournament?
Wow. No.
I think off camera.
No, but I honestly, did you have like unfair? I honestly don't recall, like, especially when I played over the board chess, that there was something unfair. I don't know, when I was a kid, like when I just started.
I mean, there are some people who have bad etiquettes. I mean, that's one thing.
Yeah, I'm like full of bad etiquette stuff. Like, so when I was a kid, I've had like so many funny stories. Like I was like really eager, because I started like in a very weak group, so I was winning all my games. So I was really eager to not ever lose. So I was winning all the time. And the first losses that I was having, they were very, very painful. Like I didn't know how to sort of deal with it, let's say. So I was trying at all costs to avoid it. I think one time I literally like stole a rook from my opponent. Another time it was much deeper. I was already a little bit further down my, already maybe a couple of months into my chess career. I heard about this thing called three-fold repetition. That if you repeat the position 3 times, repeat the moves 3 times.
You mastered it.
Yeah, by now I mastered it. But at the time, I was completely lost. Careful, Sagar, careful. I was completely lost. And I thought, oh yeah, there's this trick. Three-fold repetition. So I started moving a piece, 1 square, then back, then 1 square, then back, and 1 square. I did that 3 times while my opponent did something else. And I told him, it's a three-fold repetition because I repeated my move 3 times. And I was hoping I'll get away with it. I was not even sure if that's I was not sure if it's not okay, but I thought like, let me try that, that new thing I heard about. And my opponent called the arbiter. He was like, yeah, I don't think that's how it's done. And I was like, no, I think it probably is, no? And then he's like, let me call the arbiter. He called the arbiter, and the arbiter is, no, you have to both repeat the moves. I'm like, okay, sure, that's there.
If it was in your hands, you were just like,
yeah, exactly. And the guy just does everything, advances. But I said, okay, I
how old were you when you did
No, this is just at the very first year. I was 7, yeah. I mean, I was a kid, yeah.
Then you're discounted.
No, this whole thing was, yeah. It was like all in the first couple months of my chess career, I guess. It was all like at the very start. Then I learned, the rules. Well, I think later in my chess career, also some point I was eating at the board, which I later learned is not done.
But I don't get this. Like, it's cool to eat, no?
Yeah, but like you.
Yeah, I know people frown.
Greasy.
They frown upon it.
No, I think now I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, anymore. I get up from the board and go away, and then I eat something because the game is 7 hours long. Yeah, it's also like.
Yeah, but I was doing at the board. I had like a bread at the board, and I was like munching.
Yeah, I know. But
during my opponent's time, even I think.
No, in your own time, if you do it, shouldn't it be like cool? Like you have 10 minutes and you have a chocolate.
The chocolate maybe, but I had like greasy big like cheese bread, like with like a pizza type of thing. So it's not good. Not good.
So AG, you said everything that you did unfair.
But there are 2 videos which I can tell. I don't know if I should tell. Of AG. 2 famous. One is very famous. One is very
but
unknown.
Nothing too bad, I think. Yeah.
No, the second one is when you were younger. It's not unfair or something. It's
no. I'm just being funny. There's no unfair there. In the,
no. Not. I don't. Was it banging the clock? This one.
Well, there was one where I like dropped the pen, like to put the pen down and get up. I mean, this one.
No, this mate in one.
With Wesley?
With Wesley, yeah.
Okay,
that
but
was-
that's an iconic moment, of course.
Yeah,
in
that's-
history.
that one.
In history of chess.
You should watch it.
No, that's
No, you
very
should
good.
watch it and then.
It's very good.
No, there's some mystery.
So let's just say I made it very clear to Wesley that he's getting checkmated in one move. I made it very clear.
Like there was some mate in one, and then you like took your time and like
Yeah,
you know,
I did what I
like
call
he
in poker.
didn't want to mate immediately, like
No,
you
in
know
poker
something.
they call it slow rolling. Later I found out. So it's when you know, like the guy showed his cards. He has like let's say 2 kings, and you know you have 2 aces and you're winning, and you like very slowly turn 1 ace, and then you know you won, but you just make it up with like make him suffer. And I did that actually. I didn't know that at the time. I was just making sure if it's made in 1. I'm pretty sure I knew it was. But yeah, I was still small.
Okay,
But my opponents clean as angels, you know.
I think it's all good. Yeah, the answer.
Yeah.
I think.
Saurav Banerjee says, could each of you, the warriors, please give one example each of the toughest he's asking, how can we ask tough question? What would be a tough question for you guys? Because Vidit wrote on the post, ask tough questions.
Okay, I was because of the
Go ahead.
because of the boxing thing, I wrote tough question. Yeah, not literally. I meant like tough question. It was in context, but
Well, one of the hardest questions that I find to answer are those. Go ahead.
I think the questions which make you think, I find it fascinating. Like which makes you really think.
Yeah, but these are nice ones, right?
These are nice ones.
The ones that are hard, like for example.
hard for it's very clear. Some personal question you cannot answer it. Yeah, in a Q&A.
Yeah, when they ask you like your own weaknesses, you know, or like when revealing it is like bad for you.
Yeah.
I don't like this question, like your chess weaknesses, and I don't like that because it's okay. I know them, but if I tell them, it feels a bit wrong.
Okay. Shashwat says, will AG come to VD's wedding if invited under the condition that AG cannot host
invited.
VD?
Now that is on Wildr, I think he'll be nicer to me.
No, I'm practicing being nice. You know, it's quite funny on Wildr in general. Like, it's sort of a toxicity-free, no trolls and so on. Yeah. So it says like for many people who experience like trolling, they like they would probably like Wildr. But me, I'm like the troll. I'm the one trolling, and I'm the one being toxic. So I'm like the other side. And it's also good for those people to join Wildr, like myself, because then you learn as a troll also that it's not the only way to, you know, it's not the only way to go forward.
One quote comes to my mind when it comes, like, you know, teaching Anish not to roast is like teaching a cat how to bark. You know, it's fascinating, but futile.
Yeah, but I would actually look forward to Vidit's wedding.
Yeah, I don't know when it's...
We just have to find him a bride. I don't know if you have anyone
That's a
from
small
the
problem, I
family.
think.
Everyone's ready.
That's a small problem.
Vidit is ready, but yeah.
Yeah, it's...
L. Nishita says, what's one good quality that you learned from each other and are implementing it in your day-to-day life? So,
You want to take this? Yeah?
No, you go ahead first.
Yeah, you have a big list to choose from.
Oh boy.
So, one thing which comes to my mind is very clear. Like, first time I met Anish was 2015, but we didn't really know each other. We just spoke a bit. In World Cup, I think we spoke a bit, like just. But then in 2016, when I actually worked with him, like spent a really good time, like a month or so, I was with him, and I was 2650 back then, and he was playing the candidates like 27 something, really good number. And I was surprised by his work ethic back then, like surprised in a good way. I thought that what I'm doing is good enough, but then I saw him working on chess, and for me that was an eye-opener. I felt like I was doing little. So that's one thing which I picked up, his work ethic, or when it comes to the amount of hours to put into your craft. I think that was very good learning for me.
Yeah, no, I think for me, what I learned from Vidit, especially more, I think recently, is that I learned that we disagreed on him on certain things, let's say, in approach and so on, where I felt that he's trying to do too much, you know, like in a sense that I felt, okay, you are who you are, and you try to improve that, but he was sort of trying to change more, and I thought that that's like a wrong way to do it, because then you sort of, instead of taking all your strengths and building on them, you sort of scratch that all away and you build from scratch without the strengths that you already have. But seeing that he's being quite successful recently, I realized that probably, well, I mean, I must have been wrong about that. So, yeah, I think it's a good learning from experience for me as well. So I'll see how to incorporate that in my.
Yeah, I remember you even told me that, you know.
Yeah.
Why are you pushing so much?
We had a conversation. No, we had literally a conversation where I told him that I think you will have better results. Not even that. I thought that what he's trying to do will lead to worse results.
Backfire, yeah.
Backfire. I was convinced that would happen, but it didn't happen. What could also be is that maybe he didn't do it entirely the way he was intending to. I'll have to think about it as well. So maybe he also adapted a little bit. But to be honest, in any case, I think it shows that you know, you have to believe for sure. You have to believe, because the thing is, in sports, you have to take leaps of faith, because it's always a bit of a miracle. You know, it's always a little bit of a miracle. Like, for example, with his career, it's a complete miracle, right? But you have to believe and take leap of faith, because you know, if you fail anyway, but you might succeed. And the remarkable part about sports is that it's full of miracles. Sports, like it's not just one. It's like it's almost ingrained in the sports that all the sports results, like, most of it is miracle. And like the unlikeliest things happen, and the underdogs. How often do the underdogs win things? Yeah, it's amazing, to the point that you no longer know who is the underdog. So I think that's an important thing I learned from it. That you should sometimes believe more, maybe.
Niket Saluja says, Vidit, what's your thought process behind playing Wyke and Prague? Considering candidates is in April, won't you get less time for prep, considering tourneys you have signed? Much love to you and AG. Hoping Anish too joins you.
Yeah, I think nowadays, like I was in there are two categories of players. One is who play a lot. One are like who love to train and then play little. Like, you know, there's two categories. I was in the latter first, but then in this year I think I played a lot of tournaments, and I felt like maybe it comes at cost of like physical fatigue and tiredness. But probably the world is changing so much. Like previously, probably it would help if you have 1 month of like just preparation and you have like this fantastic novelties and stuff. Maybe the engines now have made it easier to come up with ideas. Previously, it was much more useful you had to go dig deep, but now you get the answer much faster. Something like it could be one of the reasons, but it's not practical to just like sit and also we saw maybe with I also felt like playing, and with Ali Reza we saw that he took a 6-month break, which made him a bit rusty when it came to candidates. So I didn't want to do that and not just overplay. So I thought this would make a right balance. Like I would just play before candidates 2 tournaments.
Right. Last question. Satyam asks, tough one to end it. Please give your take on chesscom Kramnik thing.
Wow.
We want more drama.
Interesting. Yeah, I was wondering, in general, you know, let me use that question as a segue, in fact, and talk about social media as a whole, you know, because it's a good question. Because I have a feeling that social media, it is not the people that are posting in a way. It's the sort of the algorithm that is shaping the way it is. Like it's affecting the way people post and affecting the conversations we are having. Like I don't think we would be having those conversations if we went out to dinners with the friends. While if we are in the same group of friends online, we are having those conversations. It's not because these things are particularly interesting to us or because we find them very rewarding emotionally, but it's because simply the algorithm is rewarding that. So even the fact that there is so much talk about this sort of drama online, it is a product of the way social media is fundamentally is with the algorithm. And I think this is I think it is wrong. Because, you know, one thing like, okay, let's say there is something that you want to watch and read, yeah? It doesn't mean that's good. Because, for example, with food, imagine okay, some people I like chips, for example, yeah, this chips. I really would love to eat 5 bags in a row. It's amazing, right? It tastes very good. It gives you this good taste and good feeling. But you know, even though you want to do this, it's not good to eat these chips all the time, right? But with online content, somehow we don't have the same feeling. Like we think like, oh, what's the harm, of watching this horrible like videos and this terrible tweets and read them. It feels good, right? It feels good, so it must be good. No, but it's not like that. You know with food it's not good, so you end up eating some salads that you don't like, because you know it's good. And I think it should be same with online content, that you should also consume like healthy...
We lost our way. How to go there?
I think
maybe we go from here.
the
This is
way
easiest, yeah? Yeah, sorry, continue.
Yeah, no, I think, oh, just careful, this tricky
Yeah,
one.
from here.
So I think you should, in general, like really question what kind of online content you want to consume. And with that, I really like that there is new social media, and I don't know if, let's say, it will be Wildr, that will be the ultimate, ultimate new platform. I hope certainly it will be. But just the fact that I just don't like the way the platforms are. I don't like the things I post. It is not who I... It is not, let's say, one good way to think about it is to often to think when you write something or create something, like what would my parents think about it, right? Like would they like if I show it to my mother or father, or what would they think? And okay, you can push these thoughts away often, be saying, okay, they're old-fashioned, whatever, yeah? But this is a good test to see, like, is that thing what you do actually, because they have brought you up, right? They have input the values in you. Or even what your friends are thinking, because it goes to such extreme, the content you do, that, don't mean you, I mean any person, that even your real friends in life, like, what would, like, Vidit or like Erwin or like my real friends, what would they think of this post, for example? And okay, it's not relevant now what they would think, because the whole game is about getting likes and these things, retweets and engagement. But why is it like that? Shouldn't you be doing something that you yourself like, that represents your values, that your friends like? But you're laughing.
No, the thing is, I feel Anish can become a great politician because the question was something else. He answered something else.
I use this example.
It was tangent, of course. It was not completely unrelated.
No, it's very.
But what do you think of Kramnik's this thing? It was not answered.
That's the thing.
It was like he answered like a very good politician.
Yeah, I mean, there's very little to say about this. Like, everybody knows, obviously, yeah, that it's always been installed in us. There's a very basic rules about these things. So when someone it's not proven that someone is guilty, right? The innocence, like there is this, how it's called, the presumption of innocence.
You're guilty.
Yes, innocent until guilty, presumption of innocence, and so on. So also imagine that there's like some child, yeah, even let's say, or a prodigy. He's 15 years old, yeah, let's say, I don't know, or 18 or 12, whatever. He's doing some great things. Unless you are sure, 100% sure, that that person is cheating, why would you take upon yourself the responsibility of even ruining the day of that person? Like, why do you think it should be? And is that what you really is that really what you think you should be doing? Is that how your like friends and your parents and like, is that really your values? Because I also feel like, a lot of these discussions online, they're driven by the clicks. Like, people of course really enjoy that their content is doing well, a lot of likes and a lot of engagement. So they end up posting those things. And even this channel, for example, of Wildr is an incredible channel, by the way. You did the interview. It's a tremendous channel. It's insane content there. At some point I was binge watching it on my couch. I mean, it was just amazing. But they see, of course, that the cheating videos, they do well. They push the channel forward, right? And I mean, that for sure also contributes to them making more videos than they otherwise would. Maybe normally Levitov would be like, okay, let me do one video with my friend Kramnik on cheating. Instead, he does like 5 or 10. I don't know, I don't think, and I think that actually these things are very connected, actually. I think they are very connected. And I think that it is the fault of the social media platforms that are there right now, that they are pushing the wrong kind of content, and they're changing people. They're changing, because very often you yourself, take a step back and think like, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? And okay, you have excuses. Okay, I'm doing it because it's my job. I'm doing it because I need for the sponsors to have good numbers on Twitter and everything. And my way of dealing with this is that I use humor as as a way to give myself an excuse almost to do this. You understand? I'm hiding behind humor all the time because I think I do because you see the jokes are. It's always an excuse.
You can get away with it.
You can get away with it for yourself as well. You're not doing anything bad because it was a joke.
It was meant.
It was meant as a joke.
Yeah, meant as a joke. Yeah.
And it is meant as a joke. But it's fundamentally, I'm trying to.
Yeah, it's again this comedians and free speech, that comes in between. Like, how much can you say? It becomes also when it comes to the humor part. I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. Comedians, their purpose is to make people laugh, right?
Yeah.
My purpose is to grow my Twitter. And
I'm just making this parallel.
Yeah, of course.
But one thing is clear that there has to be a solution for, or at least a big discussion regarding cheating, like top players and the other people, stakeholders involved in this, a serious talk about it. And it has to be addressed because the solution to this would really stop, or at least make things better than what they are. Stopping, I don't know. But maybe discussion is happening, but it's a very informal one right now.
Yeah,
like everybody's taking it on their own,
yeah,
but rather than like sitting down and like really doing it.
It's not a productive discussion at all. It's not a discussion.
It's not a productive.
It's farming of likes. It's farming of likes and of hype, and it's not a productive discussion at all. The people are not interested. Many people have wrong motives. A lot of it is people protecting their own ego. They've lost, and they use this as an excuse. Like, it's coming from the wrong place. The issue is always raised after the guy loses. It always starts with somebody losing. Every tweet, every anti-cheating talk always begins with the guy losing his game. After he loses his game, suddenly we have to talk about cheating.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying that this has to be addressed.
No, but
it has to be addressed now.
No,
before the tournament begins, I'm saying this. It has to be addressed.
No, it will be only become an issue if you lose someone. You'll be like, this guy who's a bit suspicious.
No, but it's an issue. I'm saying in general that it has to be addressed in some way.
It is an issue, of course, but it is completely blown out of proportion right now. I think completely blown out of proportion. And over the board, there's just no evidence that any top event in recent history ever was any cheating involved. Like, there's no reason to think that. Absolutely no reason. Of course, online there have been few people that have admitted to cheating. That's the thing. Like, some people have admitted to cheating, so then you cannot say it doesn't happen because they literally said it. There's people who come forward saying I've cheated because they then get the back to chess.com. But I think it's a much smaller issue, and I think it should be discussed differently.
I think this video has become just straight along.
No, but it should be discussed differently. I think it should be discussed not on social media because their likes are what drives it forward.
Yes.
Not resolution.
Like in a closed room.
Yes.
Without camera.
In a closed room with serious people, with the people being seriously questioned, like these people who are coming forward, so-called, with their ideas, and tell them okay, first of all, don't you think you are being biased because you've lost to that person, but now you're biased?
You cannot remove the social media aspect because it will be there. Like, anything happens, you put it on social media nowadays. So, of course, this gets more traction, but what you meant.
First of all, I think that social media, it might also change because people are getting frustrated, not only chess players.
Yeah.
And I've at some point started to talk to people recently, and it's one of the biggest topics that people are discussing of all walks of life. Like, I had birthday of my son or something, and there came all kinds of people that had nothing to do with chess. The issue of social media and the things that are basically what is this on social media that you do, how people spend time, what they're watching, the content they're watching. Everybody is disturbed by that. Not only chess players. Like, uncle of my cousin, the cousin of my uncle, the aunt of my cousin, and like all of these people that have different. Some people are businessmen.
Maybe they all follow you.
That's one thing. But some don't follow me either. It's not my problem.
I'm joking.
It's a fundamental issue, and everybody is feeling that it's time that it should change. Everybody feels the need for change.
Careful.
Oh wow, this is literally a hole.
Yeah.
It's literally a hole. Yeah.
This is the social media.
Yeah, this is a social media trap. You have to jump over.
No, but
and just join a positive social media.
And Wildr is not like it's not the ultimate solution, but it's at least an attempt to think in the right direction.
No, it's one of the core values of the company.
Yes, of course.
Because starting up, so
of course,
it's built up from it, like having that in mind. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's one of the huge issues that Wildr is trying to tackle.
Because the moment you know that if you post some kind of cheating related thing and you're not gonna get more likes than something just nice, you're not gonna post it. because you actually want to post what interests you, and it interests you like why did Prag play g4, you know, why did Kari offer a draw, why did he play h4, ask Gukesh what to play because Gukesh didn't know what to play, you know. Then you know that there's this pawn endgame after b4 take 97 take and so on. So this interests you. Maybe someone else is interested in something else, but it's not like everybody interested about cheating. It's just not at all reality.
Guys, this was maybe one of the best Q&A I have ever done. And on a walk from that hotel to now, we've reached the official hotel here, Minyun, for the press conference and opening ceremony. But it was fantastic.
Yeah, I'll go back to my smaller hotel. AJ's hotel is this, just for clarity.
I hope my points will be also as big as Smendy.
Because of all the posts he has been making, he's staying here.
No, this toxic Twitter led to this, guys. It's beautiful.
And if someone wants to ask you questions during this tournament, they can continue doing so in the link, and I think we may find time.
Yeah, I think it was good overall,
Yeah.
and keep the questions coming and we'll keep answering.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Good stuff.